Okay, let's talk about emotional eating. So this is the perfect time to address this topic. I think so many people identify themselves as emotional eaters, and I think it's almost a cop-out. I think it's almost an excuse. You are making it a part of who you are. You are almost declaring it as if, like, I have blue eyes. I am an emotional eater. If you are eating your emotions, you have made a habit of eating when emotional, which is kind of good news because we can work on this. And just like anything, just like any habit, we can change that. So first of all, let's talk about the cycle of emotional eating. So for many people, the cycle starts with a trigger. Right now, COVID-19 is a huge trigger for a lot of people that are suffering from emotional eating. Then let's go to the next thing. Usually the next thing is a little bit of a cover up. So trying to pretend like you're okay. So maybe you're feeling a lot of anxiety right now, a lot of stress, a lot of whatever you're feeling. Some people are currently trying to cover it up. And then with that, they are looking for relief from that feeling, that emotion. And people often turn to food for the relief. But the food is it's false bliss. It only lasts such a short period of time. So you're feeling stressed. Instead of dealing with the stress head on, you cover it up and try and not feel the emotion through food. And then what happens is you get a hangover, and it's an actual food hangover. Sometimes you physically feel gross from the food you have consumed, but it also is an emotional hangover in a sense. You have this feeling of regret. You feel like a failure, and then the cycle continues because often the next trigger of our emotional eating was our emotions that were sparked from our overeating, and the cycle continues. So if you can see yourself in that cycle, if you see yourself as a person who has made a habit out of eating as a way to numb their emotions, then maybe you should keep watching. So there is, just like anything in this journey, there is no magic. There is no magic wand that I can wave and cure you of your emotional eating, but just being aware of it can help you. So you should be aware of that cycle. Do you see yourself in that cycle? Now, how do we overcome emotional eating? Okay, I have 4 tips for you. Number 1, feel the feels. Whatever you are currently feeling, I want you to feel it. I want you to give yourself time to feel stressed. I want you to verbalize to someone why you are stressed. I want you to take out of that, what do you actually have control over? Is there anything in what you just spoke about that you have control over? If there is, let's work on that. Because once we start moving towards something that's going to help us to overcome our stress, we automatically feel better. We feel in control. My number 2 tip for how to overcome emotional eating is leave a space. From the second that you decide you want to eat your emotions to the time that you actually put that food in your mouth, I want you to leave space. Sometimes just physical space. Leave the kitchen. Go to a different level in your home. But also leaving space can be just time. Give yourself time. Just remove yourself from the situation and say, okay, if I'm still feeling this way in 20 minutes, I can crush that ice cream or whatever it is that you think you're going to eat out of emotions. Number 3, I want you to play out the movie in your head. So you've played this movie before, I know it. So if you feel like you want to eat your emotions right now, I want you to say, okay, how does this movie end? Do I go to the McDonald's drive-thru, eat a Big Mac meal and nuggets, and then what happens? Then I feel guilty. And then I go home and crush ice cream because I felt guilt for eating all of that. And then I wake up in the morning the next day and I feel guilt and I feel gross about what I did and I'm still stressed. And now on top of the stress, I have guilt. I want you to play that movie in your head and I want you to make the decision, is that how you want your movie to end? Okay? Give yourself time to make the choice how your movie ends. And number 4, this one is pretty simple. Don't have your trigger food in your house. Let's all be honest with ourselves. There is food in your life that time and time again you've tried to have in your home and you cannot overcome it. Whenever you are eating your emotions, have you ever turned to spinach and broccoli? Probably not. Spinach and broccoli is probably safe in your home. If it's chips, if it's ice cream, if it's chocolate, whatever it is that you want to turn to the second that you want to numb your emotions with food, why is that in your home? Okay, that's all I got for you. I hope that that helped. If you are struggling with emotional eating, please know that this is not easy. It is not easy to overcome emotional eating. It will probably be something that you have to consciously work towards for the rest of your life, but nothing worth having comes easy. Just like anything in life, we can create new habits and we can build this healthy person that we want to be. It's in there.